It's been almost 2 years since I lost my dad. And of course, it's gotten easier to live my life without him. What a great way to start a video. If you know me, you know I get really into things like TV shows. And my dad knew that. And he was the same way. He loved musicals and soap operas, and he was never ashamed of liking anything that he liked. More often than I'd like to admit, I think about how if he were still alive, we'd be watching Supernatural together every week, and he'd listen to me talk about it for hours afterwards. Around when I was like 13-ish, I was really into Johnny Depp. It was when Pirates of the Caribbean first came out, and I was like super into him. But interests fade over time, and I didn't really care much about him after a while. But my dad still, years later, would call me when a Johnny Depp movie was on TV and be like, yeah, this movie's on TV. I would be upstairs from him, and he would call me on my cell phone and tell me that The Ninth Gate was on TV, and I would just be like, Dad, I've seen this movie 500 times. But it always brought me such comfort to think that he cared that much. That he wanted me to be happy and watch a movie that I've seen 500,000 times. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised that he would call me and tell me that a movie that I've seen 100 times is on, because he's probably watched The Wizard of Oz and Wedding Crashers more times than I can count. He knows that I've seen the movie. He doesn't care. He thinks I want to watch it 500 more times. The fact that it's almost been 2 years makes me feel really guilty, because that means it's been 2 years since I made a promise to myself and to him that I have yet to fulfill. I promised him that I would try to do what I love for a living. So here I am almost 2 years later after I've made this promise to my dad and realizing I never really tried at all. When I decided that I wanted to change majors from nursing to digital media, I was so nervous to tell my family because, technically speaking, that's not the most smart career move. But he was okay with it as long as I was happy. I'm not saying this to make people feel bad about maybe their parents not being as supportive as mine were. I'm saying that despite my parents being so supportive of me, I failed. They didn't care that this is what I wanted to do. They didn't care that it was an unconventional career. They didn't care about that. They just wanted me to be happy. And I still failed. But just because you failed once doesn't mean that you failed forever. There's always a chance, as long as you take it. There's still time for me to do what I love. There's still a chance for me to be successful at it. There's still opportunity for me, and I'm not gonna let that pass me by. I've never been good at keeping promises. I'll make them all day long, but I don't keep them. But that's only a defining characteristic of me if I let it be. I promised my dad and myself that I would try, and I didn't. I pretended to. I only made a couple of videos, and I didn't like the way that they came out, and I made excuses for myself in saying that I am not in the right place to do this right now, or I don't have any inspiration, I don't have any ideas, I don't have any time to make videos. These are all just excuses that I made to myself to make myself feel better about not trying. But I'm done not trying. I always thought to myself that I would make a bunch of videos and get enough practice until I finally made a video that I was proud enough of to post to my personal Facebook account and reveal to people I know in my real life that this is what I wanted to do with my life, because I was ashamed at the process of me trying to do what I love. How can I be ashamed of wanting to be happy? How can I be ashamed of doing what I love, even if it's super awkward because I'm just starting out and I don't really know my place in the YouTube community, or I really haven't gotten my footing in my own creativity. I'm done being ashamed of wanting to do this, of wanting to better myself. And I think part of the reason I didn't want to post was because I would feel even worse when I stopped trying. The biggest problem of not keeping a promise to yourself is the guilt that you feel when you don't follow through. So here I am 2 years later, and I'm gonna make another promise. To my dad, to myself, and to everyone who's watching this. I'm gonna try. I promise that I'm not always this serious. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. Here's a clip of me being super not serious. Delicious. That's from a video that I made that I never even edited together or posted. So, as you can tell, I didn't try. As I said, I'm not always this serious. I do like to consider myself funny. Any of my friends can attest to the fact that I laugh at my own jokes. So, speaking of promises, I'm not going to promise any day that I'm going to post a video because I do have 2 jobs. One of them varies when I work, so I don't really know when I will have the time to make a video, but when I have that time, I will. So subscribe to see that, and like this video if you liked it. And question for the comments, have you ever made a promise to yourself and then didn't keep it? Or maybe you did keep it. What was it? Tell me. So this was really great. I'll see you guys next time. Maybe I'll cry. Bye!